The best part about my weekly Heisman rankings is that they can completely change on a weekly basis. And this week, my rankings did. After every weekend of college football, I'm going to be ranking my top 5 players for the Heisman Trophy. So before we get to my rankings from last week, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to the channel. If you love college football, this is definitely the place for you. Last week, I had KJ Costello at 1, Trevor Lawrence at 2, D'Eriq King at 3, Dylan Gabriel at 4, and Kyle Trask at 5. Now, personally, I would like to apologize for the hype on KJ Costello. It doesn't look like he'll be finishing in the top 5 after all, after losing at home to Arkansas. Not ideal. Alright, let's get to my brand new updated top 5. Wouldn't it be something if Mac Jones were to win a Heisman at Alabama where Tua Tagovailoa never won one? Well, he very well could, as Jones has dominated through the first 2 weeks of the season. Through 2 games, Jones is completing 75% of his passes. He's thrown for 700 yards and 6 touchdowns. This past weekend against Texas A&M, a top 15 team in the country, Jones threw for just under 450 yards with 4 passing touchdowns. We saw him in a few games last year after the Tua injury, and he looked pretty good. Jones has one of the easiest jobs in the country, as he has arguably the best offensive weapons you could possibly ask for. Jones isn't as flashy as Tua or some of these other quarterbacks on the list, but he's going to win games for Alabama and put up some really good numbers doing it. I got another newcomer in here, and he may surprise you. Zack Wilson from BYU. So far, BYU is undefeated and has the best offense in the country so far. And that's largely due to the play from Zack Wilson. Through his first 3 games, Wilson is completing 83% of his passes. 83%. No, that's not a misprint. This dude simply just doesn't miss. This past weekend against Louisiana Tech, he completed 24 of his 26 passes. He's thrown for just under 1,000 yards with 6 touchdowns while also adding 5 touchdowns on the ground. 11 touchdowns in 3 games. Not bad. He has as many touchdowns as incompletions so far this season. Nobody in storied BYU quarterback history has had 3 consecutive games where they registered a pass efficiency rating of over 200. At least, not until Zack Wilson. Through the first 3 games, his pass efficiency rating has been 222.7, 231.6, and 206. As of right now, Wilson ranks number 2 in the NCAA in pass efficiency at 221.9, just behind Mac Jones at 222.1. And he just had a game with more touchdowns than incompletions. If you haven't done so yet, now is your time to buy stock in Zack Wilson before everyone else. Before I get to my top 3, please take a second and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out the video, and it helps the channel out too. Staying at number 3 this week is D'Eriq King. Miami didn't play this week, so there wasn't really a reason to move him at all. What else is there to say about the Houston transfer? Well, if you didn't watch my video from last week, let me just remind you quickly what he's done through the first 3 games so far for the Hurricanes. So far, he's thrown 750 yards with 6 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. He's also added 150 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Louisville has been his only tough contest so far, as his other 2 matchups were fairly cakewalks. Miami will be facing Clemson this weekend, which will likely tell us a lot about the Hurricanes and the Tigers. If King can do the impossible and knock off Clemson, he'll find himself at number 1 on this list next week. Speaking of that Miami-Clemson game, we'll have a chance to see another top quarterback, and arguably the best one in the entire country. Trevor Lawrence will take the field, looking to pick up a Heisman-type victory over the top 10 ranked Miami Hurricanes. Lawrence has been quiet this year, along with the Clemson Tigers. They're 3-0, but they haven't really been tested yet. I assume that'll change this weekend. Through 3 games, Lawrence is completing 73% of his passes for 850 yards. He's thrown 7 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. He's also added 3 rushing touchdowns as well. Lawrence is likely going to find himself near the top of every Heisman ranking, but it'll be tough to put him at number 1 unless he starts putting up some massive numbers and starts picking up some victories over some quality opponents. At number 1, I have a guy who I had in my preseason top 5 way back in April. Kyle Trask has been the most impressive player in the country so far, as he looks ready to lead Florida to an SEC championship, maybe even the college football playoff. Through 2 games, Trask has thrown for 700 yards with 10 touchdowns. This Florida offense looks like they are the real deal and have honestly been the most impressive team to me so far through the young season. As I said in my takeaways video, this upcoming month will truly be a test for Trask and the Gators. They play Texas A&M, LSU, and Georgia in the next month. If Florida is undefeated after that, I think you'll be able to hand the Heisman Trophy to Kyle Trask right then and there. Well, that wraps up this week's top 5 edition of my Heisman rankings. What were your thoughts? Drop a comment down below and also share with me who your top 5 is for the Heisman or who you want to see win. Or if there's a guy I didn't mention in this top 5, drop a comment down below and let me know who you think should have made it. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button if you love college football. If you enjoyed this video, this is definitely the channel for you. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.